We're looking at writing the days of the week in kanji in this video tutorial, and we're going to start off with this character over here, which is pronounced yo. It's part of a combination yo-bi, which goes on the end of every day of the week, very much as the word day does on English weekdays. So we're going to have a look at this character yo. It's a very interesting one, but a little complicated. You'll recognize immediately, I'm sure, this element over here on the left. We know it goes down on the left, across and down on the right. We fill in the middle, and then we close in the square on the bottom. And that, you'll know, is the character for sun. Now, obviously, yobi, that's a day of the week, and that's to do with days, which is to do with the sun going across the sky from morning to night. So any character to do with time in Japanese has this element here, this sun element. Now, as well as the sun, we've got this gorgeous element here, which is very much like two katakana yo. And in fact, these are simply pictographs of wings. And you can imagine a bird there, and those are his wings flapping away. So we've got the sun, and it's as if it's flying by on wings, and those are wings of a bird. And this element down here means a bird. Now I'm going to actually take you to look at this element and see what it used to look like in ancient times, because you can actually see very clearly the fact that it was a pictograph of a bird. This is what this element looked like in ancient China. These are the bronze characters, so they're up to 3,000 years old, and you can see quite clearly the head of the bird there and the wings. This is probably one of the best, isn't it? There are the wings flying out there to the right, and then the bird's head. Oh my goodness, this really does look like a bird. So when we go back, we can see that it still does look a little bit similar. Perhaps actually the modern version looks quite close to this sort of thing here. But let's go back and look at our modern version of the element meaning bird. Here's the element that you've just seen, which originally was a bird. Of course, here it's part of the character for days of the week. But you can see these strokes here are clearly remnants of those wings that we saw in the original pictograph. Now, this element, meaning big bird, actually has a number of other elements hidden within it, and we can use those elements to build a little story so that we can remember this particular element and its own special stroke order. Now we start over here on the left. The first two strokes here, that's what the kanji for man or person looks like when it's squished up to form the left-hand side of a bigger element or kanji. Then we pop the head of the big bird here. And I like to think of this as the big bird character out of a television series called Sesame Street, where there's actually a man hidden inside a great big yellow big bird suit. So the man's on the left, here's the head of the bird. Now we're going to put his wings and then his backbone. So first of all, we put the first wing across, then we put the backbone of the bird inside the suit, and then we put the second wing, the third wing, and the fourth wing, and there we have the character meaning big bird. So here we've got that element for bird, and if we put the three together, we get the sun flying by like a bird on the wing. And that's a rather poetic way of saying a day of the week. So there we have yo. We just need to add one more sound, b, to that to get the end of every single day of the week. So let's have a look at the way to write that B sound on the end. And here it is. Here's the character for B. You add it to yo to make yo B, and that's the equivalent to the English day that you get on every day of the week. If you have a look at Sunday, for example, then you see yo and B on the end. You'll also notice, interestingly, that the Japanese character for the sun part of Sunday is the same character, meaning, of course, sun. So for sun day in English, you get sun flying by day. In other words, these three characters here, which are pronounced nichi yobi or Sunday. Let's just refresh ourselves as to the stroke order of the character meaning sun. Now, the stroke order of this character should be completely second nature to you by now, and that is down on the left, across and down on the right, fill in anything in the middle, and finish the box off here, left to right, and that's the character meaning sun. Now the odd thing about this character, well, like any character in Japanese, is that although its core meaning never changes, the pronunciation or the reading can change depending on whether it's the reading which is brought across from China, the reading that we call the on reading or the Chinese reading, or whether it's used to represent the Japanese word, in which case it would have the Japanese reading or what we call the kun reading. So let's have a look now at that word for Sunday, and you'll see that the same character meaning sun is actually read two different ways. Okay, there's the character over there. We know its core meaning is sun, but have a look at Sunday. The first sun, that's pronounced, if you have a look over here, nichi. Whereas once you use the second kanji meaning sun as this combination yobi, then the pronunciation changes from nichi to bi, and you get nichi yobi. Nichi yobi, meaning Sunday. Okay, we're now going to have a look at the other day kanjis, and they're all going to end with the same two characters, yobi, which you already know. So let's go down and check Monday. This is the character that we're going to use for Monday. It means moon. Let's have a look at the English for Monday. Mon-day. Well, coincidentally, Monday is also derived from the word moon. That's why we get mun. It's a form of moon. So Monday in English is also moon day. We already know the kanji for moon. There it is one more time. But let's check its stroke order. Okay, we start, of course, on the left because all kanji go left to right, top to bottom. So we do our nice moon shape there on the left. Then we go across and down, all in one, of course, and that ticky bit at the end is totally optional. And then we fill in the middle strokes. Okay, so we've got two going across there, and that's a representation of the moon. Once we've got the kanji for moon, and there it is, we add yobi, and we get getsu yobi. Getsu yobi, and that's Monday. Let's have a look at Tuesday. Okay, here's the character that we use for Tuesday. Its core meaning is fire. So for the Japanese, Tuesday is fire day. And let's have a look what this character originally looked like, because it's very easy to see how it was a picture of a fire. There it is. This is basically what it looks like today. And if we go back a little further, we can see clearly, look, there are the flames coming out. And in the really ancient characters, you can see those flames just flicking up there very clearly. That's a fire. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do in this character is put in the two strokes for the flames. So one over here and another one down this way over here, and those two are the flames coming out of the fire. And here we're going to pop the two logs. It's also identical shape to the character for a person, but basically you've got flame, flame, and two logs on the fire, and there you have the character, which always has a core meaning of fire. Here we have the kanji for fire, and then we put it here together with the characters meaning day for day of the week, and we get fire day of the week, which is pronounced ka yobi. Ka yobi, and that's Tuesday.